Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are reviewing some putters. We're looking at the difference between the two Scotty Cameron mallets, the Fastback 1.5 and the Phantom 5.5, which is the one that Justin Thomas is playing. He has his own signature version of that, but we're going to look at the difference between those two and in the stores, what you might find and why you might play them since they're really similar. Let's take a look at them. Looking at both of them from above, you can see they both have that initial blade set up there, right? And then they have these wings. This is wings. And then these are almost like they're the wings tucked in right here. These are the wings tucked in, but they're very different. If we take a look at them now at the bottom side perspective, you could see that the Fastback 1.5 in the Select series maintains some of that weight, whereas the materials change dramatically in there. These are a combination of some kind of urethane as well as the metal in there, and it goes all the way to the back on the insert. Definitely changing the characteristics of the way this club rotates and the way it feels in your hand. This perspective is from the toe side. If we look at the offset on the hosel, the 1.5 set up as a half shaft of anything 0.5 in the Scotty Cameron line is half of the shaft is offset in front of the face right there. Half of the shaft is offset in front of the face. And this 5.5 technically looks like, if you join me in this, I would say it's a little more than the 0.5. However, they're both slant necks, and the rotation, the slant necks always support a little bit more rotation than the face balanced versions. The face balances tend to fight rotation. But today we're gonna look at what the difference might be, the way they rotate. And you know, we're not gonna mess with weights today, because if we wanna look at it in a balanced way, the same way you guys walk into a store, maybe without a fitting, I really want to make you guys aware of the differences without the actual change of weights. But really, this is for anybody who is who's looking at these two putters as possibly some contenders to be in the bag. All right, guys, so we got the two beauties right here. We're gonna start where I always like to start. I've chalk lined already. I used my laser tested. We got a straight putt. I always like to start on my straight putts, and then I got a left to righter over here. Those are the two that I struggle with the most when I'm feeling out new putters. Definitely the straight, and then the left to righters. I tend to either hold off and have too much cut on the ball, so then I miss on the low side. But we're going to test the straight ones first. We're going to start with the 5.5, and then we'll go right into the Fastback 1.5. Okay, something I will say about this right away is that it does feel light. I would definitely want heavier weights. This one currently is at 34 inches. I'm making an adjustment in my setup for that, but in terms of feeling the head, without a doubt, that head feels just a touch light to me. Now we're on to the Fastback 1.5. And this is noticeably heavier. And that one was a missed putt for me. I felt like the face was rotating, but that's a good sign, because now I have some kind of like built-in sort of forgiveness with that. But let's try one more, and then we'll go back. We'll try the 5.5 one more time after that. Go, and then let's try the last two. So 5.5, I mean, you could see right here, it's plastic all the way into the head here, and then we have the plastic all the way onto the bottom. These are only 15s. again, you can get the weights for customization, but if we're just judging this by stock, and the way the head rotates and the way it feels, again, it's the ability to make putts, right? That's what counts no matter what. Yeah. All right. Initial thoughts. I really like the heavier version for me, but if you're someone who needs it a little bit lighter, it'll definitely change it'll change the speed at which the ball comes off the face, without a doubt, the lightness. Materials don't change as much as you think about how fast it comes off, but weight is something that's a big deal. So we're gonna take a look at the left to righters. Right now I'm preferring one a little bit more than the other. I mean, obviously, if you like Justin Thomas, then this guy is your guy. But they're really close right now because obviously I can make some adjustments. But very close. This feels a little bit softer, obviously because of the materials. Now, something I think is really important that people don't ever explain feel. Feel is vibration plus sound. Obviously, with different materials, the sound is going to change. So this might be, let's say, like a lighter ting, whereas this might be maybe, and I say lighter, but maybe high-pitched. And this might be a little bit lower-pitched, and the vibration definitely changes. The vibration is definitely softer in the Phantom than it is in the Fastback here, in the Special Select. So let's take a second to adjust camera angles, and then we'll get right back into it. All right, so we're back to the Cameron 5.5. Let's see what that feels like on the left to righters. Give these guys another chance. All right. Interesting. Definitely different on the way it rotates. This heavier head here, again, depending on who's got it in their hands, this one might rotate a little bit less. That one was me focusing on rotation and then just blasting it through the line, but interesting. Let's go back now. Go back to this guy. Back to the 5.5. Yeah, on that left to righter, I do gotta say, on these left to righters, which I can struggle with, I definitely feel like this one rotates in a different way. And when I say a different way, it definitely rotates more. So if you're looking for, like, if you miss a lot of putts right, that 5.5, and Justin Thomas, obviously, a lot of guys obviously just leave that face open, but that 5.5 is definitely rotating in a different way than this guy is right here. And sometimes that's the key, right? With less materials, the club might rotate more to your preference. Yeah, it's just a little bit, I feel like it's just a little bit, the heft and the weight inside the head. I'm just struggling to kind of, to understand where the face is rotationally, right? And that's the key to making putts. Yeah, that one, I could just feel it the way, I could feel the rotation in that a little bit better. Obviously lighter, right? I mean, we're talking, that's one of the big things here, is that they're so different in terms of weight. Yeah. It was kind of where I expected it. One last one with this, and then we'll try a couple more. Got a feel for that one. Let's see. Okay. And then one last one, and then we'll... Speed and the up and the over and the down. Because weight is going to affect your ability to understand speed for sure. People don't realize that. You can always adjust over time, but okay. Again, I'm making sure to not just my stroke, rather let the putter see if it works with me. Okay. So far, all things equal. Just maybe giving him a little too much respect today. Let's go back and see if we can get her back to the 5.5 Phantom. Round 2 speed test. Let's see, we're back to the heavier one, the Select 1.5. Okay. Well, speed test, all in all, things equal, right? All right, we're back. So now we're one last straight test, right? Because if all things are equal, and a little rotational there. A little lucky, snuck that one in. Okay. Let's see. Alright, that one was a made one. Obviously bounced on the ball that was in the cup. So 2 out of 3. It starts to see what happens now with the extra weight. Let's see. Old ghosts starting to come out of the closet. Okay. We're gonna go right back to this guy real quick. Because for sure, there's definitely, lighter materials, club rotates. Yeah, I mean, look how different that is. Yeah, I mean, that's going down the line I expect. This one is going to be a fight, really, because I'm going to try to figure out how I have to rotate this thing, and then I'm going to over-rotate, I'm going to under-rotate, and I better be, God forbid, I don't play for a little bit, and then they're going to come out, and I'm going to have these, hot and cold spells. Yeah. Again, if I'm not adjusting anything in the stores, right, and I just have to pick a putter off the shelf, we're going to look at that. All right, guys, there it is. The Fastback Select 1.5 versus the 5.5 Phantom. It was a surprise, they were so close, neck and neck, coming down to, at first, the straight ones, right? The straight ones seemed a little bit better with the heavier one, but then as we started to get to the left to righters, again, I could feel a little bit more the way this face is rotating. And then speed-wise, they were roughly the same, but as we got back to the straight putts, clearly that heavier face over time I was just leaving it open, and it was
definitely a lot easier to get that Phantom 5.5 online for me. Remember that this is for me, for my stroke, and I tested them against each other. Now, when you're in a store in a more restrictive environments, right, you're sitting there going, oh, well, Coach Paul, you're so smart. I can't test them on a golf course. Well, as you test them in a golf store, you actually want to putt for speed. You want to putt through the fringe in the store. Through the fringe represents uphill and then leveling off on that putting green, because you guys are, you're right. It's hard to putt in a golf store because it's much straighter and, speed is consistent. But if you putt through the rough, the thicker stuff, and then test the speed like that, that'll be a really good indication. The key is find your straight putts, right? Because it's the putter's ability to make those straight putts, because then you can trust what straight is. And for me, I was just really able to feel that rotation of the face with that Phantom 5.5. Now, was it something that if we got this lighter, could that do? Yes. But again, today's discussion is just one versus the other, no changes. It is what it is. What's a better putter? And this guy was clearly, obviously at the end we saw it, that was the winner. I almost couldn't make one putt with this guy with the Fastback 1.5 Select. So materials, weight, that's kind of really going to help us understand how the face rotates. We might block, we might hook, we might just be able to get one that goes dead straight. In my opinion, we can the human body can get used to a lot. So whether a putter is, an inch shorter, you can get used to it and make some small adjustment changes to your body, and you could look just as good putting with a 34 as a 35. But ideally, it's really not a big deal for any putter. Actually, you can add an inch to any grip. It's not that big a deal, and obviously you can cut an inch off. Typically, they'll go heavier head weights with the lighter you cut it, right? With the shorter you cut it. So a 34-inch has, in Scotty's fitting system, they have 5 gram heaviers in the weight. So this is a 10 at 35, it'd be a 15 at 34, and look what we got right there. But again, you can adjust the weights as you please. I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope you have a holiday season filled with Scotty Camerons and love. And remember, stay focused and keep practicing.